Hi folks, we're approaching the end of Mental Health Awareness Week, and I appreciate that what I'm doing here is slightly unconventional, and it feels a bit like my dirty secret. It feels like something that I can't talk about, and yet, as I mentioned earlier, that when I was on a hunger strike for 42 days, to highlight the experience of people who are applying for universal credit, one of the things I noticed was that I stopped dissociating. And for me, that's in all the years I've been dissociating, and that's many, it came as an absolute shock, surprise, possibly delight that I could go for 6 weeks when normally I dissociate a third of the time. During this 6 week period, nothing happened. So this is what's going on now. I'm on day 17 of a fast, just to see if I can replicate that. Now, the things that I'm taking readings of myself. I'm taking regular blood pressure, heart rate, checking my ketones, which basically means is my body absorbing itself, which of course it is, because I haven't fed it for 17 days. I regret not taking blood sugar. I have no equipment to take blood sugar, but that would have been an interesting addition to it. I've been looking around, and I've posted down there sort of three things that three links that are interesting in this. I think are interesting in this area. One is a piece on Radio 4 where there's a guy who's talking about the link between the gut and the brain, and that it's not just one-way traffic. Previously I think we thought that we'd get upset, we'd have a sore gut. It turns out that there may be a feedback loop going on, so the gut may affect the brain too. There's a guy in Cambridge who has, again, these studies are embryonic, and my feeling, I'm not completely sure what people's motivations are for this, but he's saying that there's a possible link between inflammation and depression. Now, I'd be cautious, because it does feel like we're beginning to over medicalize this, and likewise there's a link to Diabetes UK where they talk about having a ketogenetic, easy for you to say, diet, and how that seems to reduce symptoms in a number of mental health conditions, including bipolar and depression. None of these, interestingly, take into account environment. None of them take into account circumstances, what's happened to you in the past, your history, and I find that interesting, because I'm still of the mind that we should not be asking people what's wrong with you. We should be asking people what happened to you. Now, whether the inner structures of my mind, my brain, have changed due to childhood sexual abuse, neglect, and bereavement, who's to say? But what I do know is that so far, by not eating, I haven't dissociated. I haven't come anywhere near dissociation. Sometimes it can actually feel like I'm sort of in that blurry nether region between dissociating and not dissociating. So that's, I don't know. It's difficult. Just to give you an update. Now, what I normally do in my life is I walk for 4 miles a day. Now, probably about 4 or 5 days ago, I hit an absolute wall. The walk that I do is 4 miles, and it's got a bit of a bugger of a hill in it. and I reached the foot of this hill, and I couldn't go on. I was unable to even challenge the hill, and I thought, it's calorie deficit. Maybe my liver's not doing what I'd hoped it would be doing. So I'm just going to have 3 mile walks every day. So walk to the foot of the hill and back again. It wasn't a big knock, but it made me realise just how much energy I was losing. However, a couple of days later, I'm back with a vengeance. That hill is really no problem again. So that's interesting. My body's doing something altogether different. So all these things are going on. Oh, the other thing is I read somewhere, and of course there's no link, that there seems to be a link between fasting and the reduction of inflammation. Now, maybe that fits in with the guy from Cambridge University. I don't know. Research is required. I'm pissed off that there appears to be the research around dissociation is so scant. It's laughable. And that allows snake oil salesmen to come in and say, I know how to cure dissociation. If you have cognitive behavioral therapy, that'll sort your dissociation. I haven't come across anything that I find compelling. I think we just need to do the research. Just as a reminder, I'm taking care of myself by taking A to Z vitamin tablets, and I'm keeping my electrolytes up by taking a 0 calorie electrolyte drink. So apparently, when you're fasting, those are 2 big risks. So I'm overcoming them. I feel very good in myself. I was talking to a friend earlier. I don't feel euphoric, but I feel good. The world outside feels more vibrant when I'm walking in it. It's lovely. It's I don't know. The whole thing is just delightful. I'm experiencing life in a lovely way. I'm still protecting myself. It's very tempting to approach all the challenges that I haven't challenged because of my mental ill health. But my friend described it as handing out a check that my future self can't honour, and I think that summed it up pretty well, because I will stop this fast. I'm looking at 42 days just now, and and I know when I start eating again, I will start. My dissociation will click back to normal. My mental ill health will click back to normal. I think that's why it's important that we kind of look into this. I'm not sure if, but there's lots of interesting things about, and there are people to contact. So there's the guy in the piece on Radio 4. He's worth getting in touch with. I guess the guy at Cambridge University is worth getting in touch with and saying, look, let's look at this. But yeah, that's the problem with research. There has to be a financial motivation, and I think currently in the world of dissociation, it's so underdiagnosed. So it's not seen as any kind of epidemic. It's not seen as any massive thing. But you scratch the surface, and on Twitter, there are so many people who follow me who've said I dissociate. So there are more of us out there than you would think, because I don't know, it's just something that people don't talk about. It's not one of the usual mental health problems that people discuss. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. So as I say, everything's going well. I'm continuing to walk 4 miles a day. I'm continuing to take my vitamins and my electrolytes, and I'm still monitoring everything. It'd be dishonest of me to say that that I'm having no symptoms from this. I'm getting a touch of postural hypertension, which basically means I feel very occasionally I feel a bit giddy when I stand up quickly. So that's certainly something I'll be watching out for. I'll keep you up to date. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please share this about the place. I don't know, some kind of motivation to get people to talk. And it is Mental Health Awareness Week, so let's talk. Okay, bye just now.